Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, friends, to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from Nerdrotic.com. And it's kind of a slow news take today. Not much to talk about. This is the Nerdrotic Nooner. This is live from San Francisco, California. Poop City. Poop City. Hi, everyone, and welcome. We have a lot to talk about today. The news just keeps flowing in. For a while there, as far as news was concerned, it was kind of slow. There's plenty of TV to cover. There's Doctor Who and Star Trek, Picard, which can keep me busy for the next 3 or 4 weeks. But as of last night, Bob Iger has stepped down as Disney CEO. Why has he stepped down? Well, there is a lot of speculation going on about that. And we'll get into that because that's what we do here because we're fans. I am not a news organization, but I'll talk about it. I'll give you my opinion. And it may be right. It might not be. Who knows? But hot off the presses today. I hope I have the right thing pulled up. By the way, before we get started, it seems that Steven Spielberg is off of Indiana Jones. Now, I guess we all assumed he was going to direct, but apparently that is not the case. Now, interesting thing, it's Johnny Cash's birthday today. So happy birthday to the Man in Black, the original Psychobilly, the original punk rocker, the original badass, one of my favorite musicians, one of my favorite people. He is the composer of my favorite all-time song, Folsom Prison Blues. I'm wearing my ratty Johnny Cash shirt. He also was part of a movie called Walk the Line. It was about him. It was directed by James Mangold. James Mangold might be directing Indiana Jones 5. It's all connected, folks. It's all connected. So a little business here before I get started. If you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please make sure you are still subscribed if you've come across this video. People have been unsubscribing. Being unsubscribed from my channel by YouTube. It's a normal thing. They cleanse bots, but sometimes there is collateral damage. So please make sure that is the only way an independent content creator like yours truly can stay competitive against the giant corporations that YouTube stupidly tries to prioritize on this platform, forgetting what made this platform, which was you and me. We are going to get to, see, I had the wrong window up. That's why I knew I would have the wrong window up. And we're going to go right here. And according to Deadline, Indiana Jones 5, James Mangold in early talks to take over directing chair from Steven Spielberg. Deadline has confirmed that the Ford versus Ferrari, great film, two-time Oscar-nominated filmmaker is in early negotiations to direct Disney's Indiana Jones 5. Steven Spielberg will still be involved as a hands-on producer. The move continues to show Disney's support of Mangold, who has had a great career at 20th Century Fox with his hits like Logan, the Oscar-winning Walk the Line, Night and Day, and of course, The Wolverine. Already, Mangold is attached to 2 projects at Disney's Searchlight. A Bob Dylan project starring Timothy Chalamet, and a feature adaptation of the Don Winslow bestseller The Force with Matt Damon at 20th Century Fox. Mangold's Ford vs. Ferrari was one of the few original IP adult movies that busted out at the box office last year with over $225 million worldwide, 2 Oscar wins, editing and sound editing, and 4 noms, including Best Picture. Similar to how Spielberg passed the torch for Jurassic Park to Colin Trevorrow, he's now doing the same with the handling the reins of Indiana Jones over to Mangold. This is disappointing. But it might be a good move. I don't know. I honestly am a bigger Indiana Jones fan than I am a Star Wars fan, and I'm not looking forward to this at all. Harrison Ford is still attached to Indy 5. That's an interesting statement right there. He's still attached. Well, I assume that. Was there any worry that he wasn't attached? The release date for the fifth sequel remains July 9th, 2021, with Jonathan Kasdan penning the screenplay after David Koepp departed the project. Though through 4 movies, the Indiana Jones 3, Crystal Skull doesn't exist. The Indiana Jones franchise has racked up close to $2 billion at the global box office. The last movie, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, was released 12 years ago. God, it was 12 years ago? Jesus. By Paramount, and repped the franchise in Spielberg's as director. Best domestic opening with $101.1 million. Variety had the news. Okay. That's not adjusted for inflation. Okay, let's just remember that. Raiders of the Lost Ark was in my local theater down in San Diego. It was at Oceanside, which is a town in north of San Diego. I grew up north of San Diego, about 30 miles north, in a town called Encinitas. It was in that theater for a calendar year. For a calendar year. You will never, ever, ever see that again. Times they are a-changin', and oh, the winds of change are a-blowin', aren't they? Dan DiDio fired with cause from DC Comics. Bob Iger steps down inexplicably, and I can't even say the word, in the middle of the streaming wars. And now Spielberg isn't on Indiana Jones. Is this related to Kathleen Kennedy? Who knows? Does she have any power anymore? Who knows? Everything under her watch has been a disaster, an utter disaster. She ruined the biggest franchise in the history of mankind. There will never be a bigger franchise than Star Wars, and it's ruined. And the way movies are made and TV shows are made now, I'm not saying it won't ever happen, but it'll be very unlikely. The closest thing we got was Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was the biggest thing in the world, and HBO and Dan and Dave screwed that one up royally, and that could have been one of the biggest adult IPs ever. And we'll see. We'll see when the prequel comes out. I'll be covering it. I remain, I don't know why, but I remain a giant Song of Ice and Fire fan. I haven't dipped out on the books. I love them. I'm currently rereading them right now because I am a fool, and I actually believe that we're going to get Winds of Winter this year. I believe we are. I have heard from a couple of sources, those unnamed sources, but they're not in LA. So I don't know. I don't know how reliable they can be because they're not in Los Angeles. And according to some YouTubers, sources have to be walking the streets of Los Angeles to be legitimate. They're walking Hollywood Boulevard going, "Hey kid, you want to hear some news on Star Wars? I'm legit because I'm in LA. Yeah, so I'm only about 6 miles away from Lucasfilm, but my sources aren't legitimate. But as far as HBO, they're pretty damn good. I didn't run with any of the stuff they gave me, and I should have, because they were spot on about Watchmen. They were spot on about one of the prequels being canceled. And what we hear from the new prequel is actually kind of good news. They're actually going to take it pretty seriously. So who do we have here? Let's greet everybody, shall we? Okay, we've got Enigma 00, John Robertson, Michael 801, Sean Moonshine, Boldly Going, Max Mercer, Bipedal Species, Mr. Roboto, EC Cons or Econs, Frank Willis, Mick Bright, Mike W, Dahlia Smith, is it Dahlius Smith? I probably said that wrong, sorry. Darth Scipio, Brian CF, Stephen Sheen, Mark Lurzeth and his wrench, Batmanuel. Oh, Batmanuel, you're a man or a woman after my own heart. Batmanuel. I love The Tick. I love everything about The Tick. It's the only franchise where everything that has been produced has been good. The comics, the cartoon, and both TV shows were fantastic. Lazy Knot, Andrew Maz, John Robertson, John T, According to Christy and her wrench, Alan Dunanig. Hi, all Nerdrotics. Not very often I catch your live stream. Say hello to Nerdrotic. I'm the one that sent you the shirts with your, oh, what's up, Alan? Yeah, thanks. My kid wears that shirt to school. It's kind of embarrassing in a way. Oh, I need to point out, I want to thank Jack Beers. I don't know. I don't flex very much. I probably should as a YouTuber, but I don't. I'm going to flex a little bit, and I'll show you the tweet if I can get to the tweet. Apparently, my Star Trek Picard reviews are getting more views than Will Wheaton's after show. There it is right there. Let's go take a look at this. Oops. Duh. Here we go. Congrats to Nerdrotics. More people are now viewing his Picard reviews more than Will Wheaton's Ready Room. Dang. That I can, you know what? I can call it a career. This might be my last live stream. That is great. You know, I had lunch with Will Wheaton once at WonderCon about a decade ago. I was with Derek Robertson and we were sitting around. We didn't talk much to each other. He was kind of holding court and everybody was kissing his ass. And he was okay. I mean, he wasn't a terrible person or anything. But then he blocked me on Twitter with about 1 million other people, so I didn't feel too bad about it. But wow, thanks, Jack. Okay, Jack Beers is on top of it. He's the one who was putting out the Google Trends chart for Star Trek Picard. Do I have some Star Trek Discovery news? I got some of those rumors that people don't like to hear. We're going to talk about that. Now, that was in the title a little bit. So we are going to talk about Bob Iger. I want to hear all your speculation. Speculate away in the chat. Why do you think he stepped down? Is Disney Plus not performing as well as we thought? Or did he get Me Too'd? Or did he get bored? Or did he want to get away from Kathleen Kennedy and just in any way possible? Or does he want to be president? I'm willing to listen to it all. Because honestly, I'm not sure. I don't think he wanted to, though. That's just my thought is if he might have been asked to leave or somebody did bring up that there might be some senator seat or something that he might want. Maybe it's politically motivated. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just know that I don't know jack squat about the other Bob Chapek. I know what Clownfish TV has said about him. And they are kind of in the know. They used to run an actual Disney blog that Disney backed for a while. And they were unceremoniously dismissed for speaking the truth. We're going to get Clownfish TV on Friday Night Tights very soon. Very soon. They're good YouTubers, the Clownfish. I like them a lot. I endorse them 100%. Okay. So let's get let's talk about Bob Iger, and then we'll get to the Star Trek rumors because they're interesting. And this is wasn't the writer's strike. The writer's strike's a big deal. Not a lot of people are talking about it. I have no inside knowledge of it other than I remember the last one. I was working in Hollywood right after the last writer's strike, and I saw how many. I mean, that thing cost a lot of people a lot of work, a lot of jobs. It was bloodshed in Hollywood, and there were a lot of people who were pissed at the writers, although I think they kind of had a legit beef. And this is all over the streaming wars. There were writers are getting paid less and less. And listen, you're writing television. You're not performing surgery. You're not splitting any atoms. You're writing make-believe. So you're only going to make as much as you negotiate, as Robert Meyer Burnett says. You're only going to make as much as you're worth. And the biggest problem in Hollywood that I noticed when I was an editor, I can't imagine what it's like for a writer, but when I was editing, there was so many editors just giving their work out for free, because they wanted to work for exposure. And that still gets taken advantage of to this very day in Hollywood. I'm not a big fan of working for free. Now, I'll work on my own stuff for free. I love editing. That's why I don't do I joke around, I call it the lower tier videos, but it's not really lower tier. It's just a different type of video where you can sit down and record something for 10 minutes straight. That actually is a talent. Not everybody can do that, okay? I like to edit my stuff though. I do, because it's fun. I went to school for it. I'm self-taught, but I went to school to refine it a little bit. And I like doing it. But a lot of editors were giving away their stuff for free. And I remember one of the editors who came to our class one day. I'm forgetting her name now. She edits Supergirl right now. Sorry. But she's a professional editor. And that was the first thing she warned against. She's like, don't give away, you're worth your money. Don't give away your work for free. So the writers are fighting against themselves right now. And that's, I don't think they're going to make more money. The streaming wars are changing everything, and there's a lot of money floating around Hollywood right now, but that is going to dry up. The streaming wars will be over rather quickly. Once everybody's into the game, I give it a year. So we don't have everybody in the game. We still got the Peacock, and we got HBO Max coming in, who I think is going to be one of the bigger players. I think HBO Max will be much bigger than Disney Plus. Disney Plus, the reason Disney bought Fox is to get Hulu. They need Hulu for their rated R content and stuff because they can't put it on Disney Plus. But that's still going to be a problem because HBO Max can put Batman on with freaking Skinamax on the same channel. Separating the children's stuff isn't really going to work nowadays, especially when they have access to anything they want on the interwebs. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Now, I think Bob Iger maybe escaped the downfall of Disney. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to crash and burn, but I think they've gone through I think we've achieved peak Disney. Disney has peaked, and it's the law of diminishing returns. The MCU is right around the corner, and none other than a Sam Raimi directed Doctor Strange. Not too sure about anything else. Well, it remains to be seen. I'm still willing to give Kevin Feige a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but not much. It's eroding every day. We get articles like that freaking Eternals, where there's going to be the first alphabet kiss. What is this, 1995? That was news 20 years ago. Coming out with that now shows that they are behind the times, and I thought the MCU was supposed to be ahead of the game. I thought they were supposed to be, well, they're the gold standard in Hollywood right now. They're the only ones who regularly make money. So what we're seeing right now is the consequences of partisan entertainment. I don't even want to call it political entertainment anymore. It's partisan entertainment. It's entertainment that only wants to play to a little bit of the audience instead of all of the audience. And I think Hollywood maybe some have realized the error of their ways, and they realize that they are alienating half of their audience, and maybe they want to start making money again because they're going to have to. They've been living off of investor money for a little while now, and that might start drying up. We heard Tim Miller. Tim Miller came correct a few months ago. I did a video on it where he basically looked in the mirror and decided that, and I fully believe, I was a backer of Tim Miller. I loved what he did on Deadpool. Deadpool 2 was not the same without him. And I think he went to Comic-Con and he popped off because he thought that's what fans wanted to hear. And quite frankly, at Comic-Con, that fandom might have wanted he might have been speaking to the right fandom. But that's not the world. That's like speaking to Twitter. It's not the world. So maybe he just popped off and maybe he didn't mean what he said. And he sounds a little apologetic or at least regretful now. And that's a good sign. If we're hearing creatives and repurposers publicly regretting what they did in the past, that is change. That is positive change. And we need that. We absolutely need that. Okay, let's go. Here, I can't use that chat. Let me use the other chat. I want to hear what you guys think about the Iger, about Bob. Respectfully, Disney has to succeed. Disney has to succeed. Same goes for 20th Century. Well, Donnie, yeah, I mean, Disney has to succeed Disney is the entertainment industry in a lot of ways right now. They're the Marvel of the entertainment industry. Right now, they are setting the course for everything. Now, I think they're vulnerable for the first time in a little while, but they haven't always been on top. 10 years ago, Warner Brothers was on top, and before that, Sony was on top, and before that, freaking New Line, with Lord of the Rings. It changes every 10 years. What's up, Script Doctor? How's it going? Welcome to the chat. Go subscribe to Script Doctor. He's good. We're going to get him on Friday Night Tights too. But yeah, Disney has to succeed, sure. But I do not believe in too big to fail. I fucking hate too big to fail, excuse my language. I think there's some banks that should be out of business. I think there should be some people in jail. And quite frankly, if governments start bailing out entertainment companies, I'll be pissed. I really hated the fact that Disney bought 20th Century Fox. I am against that. I will always be against that. That reduces the flow of information. And they become too powerful, and then they can start, say, advertising on YouTube and start setting the rules here on YouTube through advertising. I think there was possibly some suppression going on with CBS about a month ago. It's not the case now, but yeah. What's up, Midnight's Edge After Dark? But these companies getting too big is a giant problem. And I know there's a lot of, hey, me included, I love the fact that this is a complicated argument. At first, I really like the fact that the X-Men and the Fantastic Four were going back to the MCU. I'm not too sure now. I have a feeling we're not going to get the Jack Kirby Fantastic Four from Disney. And I don't think we're going to get the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Chris Claremont, John Byrne, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri X-Men at the MCU either. I think we're going to get the modern version of them, which might be horrible. And of course, a little later on, I'm going to talk about the comic book industry in general. Nick Verrucci from Dynamite Entertainment gave a keynote at a Comics Pro organization, an organization I used to be part of. I was one of the OG members, not a founder, but an OG member. And I was in it for about 5 years. And then I realized that, it's a credit that they've stayed together this long. I don't know how much power they have, though, to be honest with you. And we'll talk about that later. It was essentially, and I know this is a bad word, supposed to be a union for comic book retailers, a way we can all get together and have a singular voice and have some influence over the publishers who don't listen to the comic book retailers at all. But Nick Verrucci said something very interesting that I have been saying for a long time, that a few comic book retailers have power over the whole industry, and that's not good. And it never was. It never was. And now we see the result of that. Again, consequences, results of your actions, results of partisan politics. The comic book industry is a microcosm of the entertainment industry. That's why I bring it up so much. With a comic book title can be looked at as an individual TV show. And when a comic book title, especially one that's been running a long time, loses the audience, it loses it forever. Case in point, Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man is a title that's been around for decades, and it's still around, but it's not as strong as it used to be, and it never will be. Its breaking point, one more day. You completely lost the hardcore fan base on that one. There are still people who pick up Spider-Man. It still sells okay, but I can mark that date as the date that Spider-Man sales started dipping regularly under 100,000. And I'll never forget the day, because I wasn't paying attention to the sales for a while. I was in my own little world, and Derek Robertson, the artist who made my thumbnail, because I'm in the book, that's from The Boys, called me and said, and he was kind of in a panic. And I got in a panic after the phone call too, because it was the first time I remember a major title dipping under 100,000 and doing it regularly. And it was Amazing Spider-Man, and it was after one more day. You broke your audience. So if you relate that to a television show like Doctor Who, you break with your audience. It creates what I defined in my video, a cascade effect. It's done. And the only point now is, the only thing left is analysis, because we're going to watch it die for the next 3 years. I guess they're going to commission the show for 3 years, and it's going to be embarrassing, by the way. You're going to have like 1 million viewers in the UK, by season 14. It's going to be freaking embarrassing. And Doctor Who is, I'm back to being embarrassed to be a Doctor Who fan and a Star Trek fan. It's like I'm a kid again. I'm waiting to get a wedgie, get my head shoved in a toilet. Although, that never happened. Without Spielberg, maybe we can get Dr. Jones. That's not a kid's show. More likely, it'll be woke bullshit though. Kent Jensen. It can go either way. James Mangold is a damn good director. I love Logan, but if you look at the themes of Logan, that really was the broken ground of what we're seeing today, of all of this passing the torch. Star Trek Picard is a direct result of Logan. Logan is an example of it done well because it was written well. Star Trek Picard is garbage because it's written like garbage. It's all in the writing. It's all in the writing. Fun. We can argue over partisan politics, identity politics all day long. You know what? Logan was all about the same themes that Picard is, but it was done well. But, I kind of feel the same way about Logan as I do about Star Trek 2009. At the time, I liked it, but now I'm like, oh, what it's brought us, I don't like. Let's get to let's get to you guys. And then, we got a lot to go over today. We really do. And thank you for joining. I am happy to have you all, friends and frenemies. You're all welcome here. And I know some of you are watching. Hello. And before I read the super chats, I do want to say this, stating the obvious. That's part of what we do here on YouTube. Not really down with gatekeeping. So gatekeeping gets brought up a lot, and it always gets boiled down to this black and white issue, which it's not. Okay. There is the gatekeeping. Say you have a job and there's somebody there who's really unhappy and they just want everybody else to be unhappy. They want to be the cancer of your work environment. It's good to gatekeep somebody like that. Okay. Cause they really, listen, I've been that person. I've been the person where I was out of job and I was miserable and I started making everybody else miserable. But thanks to my recovery, I recognized that. I ended up quitting the job and apologizing to the boss because I was being the pain in the ass. Not too many people do that, but yeah, you want to keep that person out of your work environment because they just want to be chaos agents. That's fine. You don't want to bring in chaos agents. But when it comes to a hashtag like the Fandom Menace, like I said, as long as you can spell it, you're welcome. I'm not really down with the gatekeeping that. Not the biggest fan. Just saying. Trek Dog for $5.49 pounds. Pounds, right? Pounds or euros. Sorry, Trek Dog. Hail Gary. After the last Star Trek Picard episode, I'm only waiting for the Orville. The Orville. They should speed up production to redeem the Star Trek fans. Well, what I can say about the Orville is it's one of the best science fiction shows on television, and it's available on Hulu for the low price of around $10. It's produced by Seth MacFarlane, a talented and handsome individual, I might say, and a bigger Star Trek fan than Alex Kurtzman. He has forgotten more about Star Trek than Alex Kurtzman and everybody at Star Trek right now will ever know. Yeah, I know that for a fact, by the way. And you should, but you're going to have to wait patiently for the Orville. I was on the set. I saw a scene being shot. It was so great. And they have amped everything up. It looks like to me, I don't know this. This is just my speculation, by the way. It looks like to me that they got a few more bucks. They got some Hulu bucks, some Disney bucks. I don't know. But the set looked dope. Now, I did get to see things that I can't talk about. All I can tell you, Trek, is that it'll be worth the wait. Trust me on this one. Trust me. If they execute what I saw, and I've seen stuff, the first episode is dope. You're going to be excited. Just be excited. Just be excited. And there will be a moment in season 3 you will when you hear me laughing my ass off from the Bay Area, you will know that one of the most epic trolls in pop culture history will have happened. And you will know. So remember that. Remember what I just said right now. One of the most epic trolls in pop culture history will have happened. I will be laughing for an hour straight. 200-watt studio for $5. Lucasfilm fires Spielberg from Indy 5. Wow. That's the first time for KK, firing a director before shooting had started. You know, I don't think a 200-watt studio, I would love to word a video like that. I could make that video and probably get 100K views. But I think he passed the torch. Now, again, 200-watt studio, what I'm doing is taking the creatives and the repurposers at what they're saying at face value, which I should not do. So I don't think, I mean, that could be a possibility. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy, for the first time in her life, had power over Steven Spielberg, and at her first opportunity, she fired him? That would never happen. People don't ever have those kind of resentments towards ex-bosses. She's going to go like, how's this cup of coffee, Spielberg? I bet you her coffee sucked. Probably wasn't as good as a delicious cup of Pete's coffee. George wants Indy to go find E.T. on Mars. Spielberg said, I'm out. Says 200-watt studio for $5 more. Is George involved in this one? I don't think he is. I think that we might actually get a good Indiana Jones. In all reality, I think this should be the first film that they try to de-age an actor for the entire film, and we get a younger Indiana Jones fighting some Nazis. I think that would be epic. I think they could possibly do that. The film would cost a fortune, but Disney's got it for now. Matt G for $2. You drinking coffee? Yes, I am. It's so good. It's so good. Thank you, Matt G. Bird of Prey 5 for $2. Kapla Nerdrotic. Picard body count stands at 30. Yes, it does. Now, I've actually been keeping count as well for my Star Trek Picard Season 1 review, and I came up with the same number, but there is some question with a couple of the Romulans in the first episode. I couldn't tell if they beamed out or they died. But 30, I agree with your 30. So yes, we are at Conan levels of death in Star Trek Picard. The Price is Right review for $2. Wait, Spielberg off Indiana Jones? I'm out. F you. Yep, he's out. He's done. But Mangold is coming in. He's no Spielberg, but I don't know, man. He's really good. Ford versus Ferrari was one of the best movies I saw last year. Walk the Line is one of my favorite all-time movies ever, and I hate biopics. I think biopics usually suck. But Joaquin Phoenix was as good as he was in Joker in Walk the Line. The dude is a true thespian. He's crazy, but he's a thespian. Not a lesbian, a thespian. Or maybe he's a lesbian too. Maybe he's a lesbian thespian. Who knows? He can identify however he wants. 200-watt studio for $2. Indiana Jones 5. Logan. Yes. Oh, God, no. Oh, I know what you're saying now. Oh, God, no. Indiana Jones goes around, and it turns out that the Nazis were his fault. And he has to go and apologize to Sala for not paying high enough wages to Sala and his friends for helping him dig up his stuff. And then he has to go back and give back all the artifacts he took because he's an evil colonialist. It's Indiana Jones and the Temple of I'm Sorry. Yes. Or no, Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Patriarchy. I'm calling it right now. That's Indiana Jones 5. And Karen Allen's going to come back as Marion, and it's actually going to be about her. So she'll, they'll do that. What they did with Iron Fist season 2, they'll call it Indiana Jones, but it'll really be about Marion. It'll really be about Marion, who I do like. Come on, Marion is an OG badass. Who didn't love the scene where she was standing on the submarine and the wind was a-blowing on her nightdress and we got to see everything? And when you're 12, you're like, God damn, this movie's got everything. It really does. Marion is a member at the proto-molecule level. Welcome. Speaking of Marion, Welcome, Jaloja. Jaloja. Well, you're a lady. I don't want to be crass, and I usually say I'm going to show you to the P corner. By the way, that is the official title of all my Star Trek Picard reviews, because Will Wheaton, Will Wheaton, his show is called The Ready Room, and mine is called The P Corner. Felipe Abrigo for 2,500 Chilean pesos. Hello, ambassador of Evil Beekler. Greetings. Picard finally dies. Then they'll name the ship the USS JL. Yes. I guess, and Frank Willis gives a little on the set, little emoji there, a little badge. Thank you very much for $1.99. I appreciate it. So I've been thinking, which I don't do quite often. So, the dust came out and everything, a little smoke, the gears were moving. That, the writer's strike is supposedly coming May 1st. How does that affect Star Trek? Because you think it would. They supposedly have Lower Decks in production. And Script Doctor, you can help me with this if you're still out there. Comment away what you know. Like, how real is the writer's strike? Is it likely to happen? How long is it going to be? But I know that if you have a show in production during the writer's strike, you can't change the scripts. You can't do any writing. So they have to be in production and pretty far in production. As far as I know, Star Trek Picard Season 2 hasn't started yet. So if it doesn't start now, it's going to get delayed. Is Patrick Stewart going to want to wait? I don't know. What about the other animated show? What about Section 31? Is this a likely excuse for CBS to get out of the Kurtzman Star Trek business? Here's the problem with that, though. They're not going to reboot Star Trek right away. Say we get our wishes come true and Kurtzman is gone. They're not going to fire up Star Trek again. It's going to probably sit for a little while. So this is a good point to get to the rumors. Okay, here we go. I'm on my Android here. Oh, wow, there's a lot of them there. I just got to make sure I don't say anything I'm not supposed to say. Okay, this is a rumor. Grain of salt. This is not news. None of this could be true. I don't know. This is a friend here. Okay. So it looks like, according to my source here, that Amazon and Netflix want out of the Star Trek business. But there is a contract in place. There's a contract in place with CBS, and it looks like it's going to go to litigation, possibly. Here's the big one. We'll just get to the big one. I got news. A source told him from Pinewood that they have begun dismantling the Star Trek Discovery sets. What does that mean? Well, I mean, they change sets from season to season. So sometimes they just dismantle sets. But some sets are permanent. For example, the Orville, the Shuttle Bay, is a permanent set. It's one that they used in season, I believe, 1 or 2 and 3. Okay. So that one was there. I believe it was there already. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I believe it was there already. And it's a big studio. And the Shuttle Bay is it's not CG or anything. That's a built set. It's got a P corner. It's got the P corner in it. There's no P there though. It's CGP. So does it mean they're dismantling? Well, I remember when The Expanse got canceled. If you guys have been around my channel for years and years, a couple of you might have. The first thing that got my channel kind of rolling, the second thing. The first thing was Westworld. That was my first video that hit 1,000 views. I couldn't believe it. It was a Westworld video, a review of the show. But about a few months later, The Expanse got canceled. I went live because it got canceled in the middle of the night. So I went live for like a 20-minute live stream. and it got 60,000 views and got a few subs from it. And one of the things I heard was they were on the clock. If the show was going to be saved, it had to be saved within a month because they started breaking down the sets permanently. And you want to hear the worst news of all? They were going to give those sets to Star Trek Discovery. That would have ripped my heart out of my chest. It was bad enough losing The Expanse, but then losing the sets to Star Trek Discovery was like, just, I could get to a crude analogy. I won't use a crude analogy, but it's bad. It's just bad. Thankfully, Jeff Bezos came in with his billions of dollars and saved The Expanse. And we got a great, great season 4. It was excellent. Best sci-fi on television right now, right along with the Orville. But I remember distinctly them saying, we got to do this before we break down the sets. So if they have begun dismantling and breaking down Star Trek sets at Pinewood Studio, this could mean that's it. Maybe we'll hear something like, it was always planned for 3 seasons. We were never going to go longer than that. This is my speculation. Star Trek Picard has shown what a colossal waste of money and time Star Trek Discovery is. Because Star Trek Picard, it was a hit at first for CBS All Access. It's tailed off quite a bit, but it's still much more popular than Star Trek Discovery. It has been exposed. Parrot Analytics, that is a bunch of crap. People aren't watching Star Trek Discovery. People didn't watch. How many people have you heard, Tom, you're out there, how many people have you heard that said, well, I watched Star Trek Picard, but I've never watched Discovery? It's the vast majority. It's the vast majority. My guess is Star Trek Discovery maybe at first got a couple million viewers, and now it's in the toilet. All the indicators that we can see show that not a lot of people watch this show. It never trends on Twitter. When the videos hit YouTube, the counts are extremely low. Yes, Tom says that's what I've been saying, Gary. You're right. I know. I've heard you say it, but I was wondering if you heard other people say it. So anytime they put something out there that's got a visible metric, it's extremely low. Example again, when they do a clip or they offer a free episode on YouTube. I have a screenshot, I need to find it, of Star Trek Picard on YouTube. It was on YouTube for 5 hours, the first episode for free, and it didn't have 20,000 views. It did not, I repeat, have 20,000 views. When they started embedding it in advertising, that's when the view count went up to a very low 3 million. And remember, what a view on YouTube is somebody watching a video for a couple of minutes. So that is not somebody watching the entire episode all the way through. Now, I showed this in a Doctor Who video, but I'm not going to assume that all of you watch all of my videos. So how YouTube counts a view is it's basically if you pop in, sometimes it's anywhere between seconds to a minute. Okay. The amount of people that actually watch a video all the way through, and I showed my metrics in this video, is 13%. 13%. Let's just say 30% watched Star Trek Picard all the way through. 30% of a million, it wasn't 3 million or 3 million. 30% of 3 million, it wasn't 3 million. And the same with Doctor Who. We get the iPlayer count. It's usually, they usually boosted 1 million after we get the overnight ratings, which are 3.71 for last week. Let's say they add 1 million. Well, in reality, only 300,000 people watch the show all the way through because the iPlayer counts their views the same way as YouTube does. And guess what? Netflix does the same thing now. Netflix used to be a little more honest with their viewing. You had to watch 70% of something for it to be a view. I would consider that a view, but if YouTube did that, the view, it'd be a different story here. He's chirping out of me. I'm going back as far as I can. I can't read it all. Okay, so here we go. CBS has been forced into arbitration by Kurtzman. He is refusing to give up his license and his contract. He is demanding a new series and a boatload of money for them to bail a year early. CBS is probably never going to give him a series. Well, I mean, they already gave him one. They will pay him. No, he's got two. Doesn't he have the David Bowie one and the Clarice one? Are you talking about Star Trek? They will pay him enough to get rid of him, and they could always use the 73% audience drop as a base to leave. Now that 73% audience drop in Star Trek Picard, I think that's accurate. That's my opinion. I think it's accurate. I think people were curious. They checked in. And I think right around the middle of the second episode where Zhaban, one of the Romulan Tal Shiar house servants, said, why don't you, Picard's about to go on his mission, and he goes, why don't you call Geordi and Riker and Worf? And he goes, nah, they're too trusting. I need somebody who doesn't like me. Engage, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's fucking stupid. God, it's fucking stupid. He wants another Trek series. Yeah. Kurtzman wants another Trek series. You know what? At this point, go for it. Go for it. You know what, Kurtzman? I know you're watching, buddy. Go and try to get a movie made. Go and try to get a movie made. As a matter of fact, get a movie made. I want to see a Kurtzman Trek movie hit the theaters. And you want to see the biggest bomb of all time? Make a Star Trek Discovery movie. Oh, I hope they do. Please. Santa Claus, I've been good this year. I want a Star Trek Discovery. I want it as bad as I want an A-Force movie. I want a Star Trek Discovery movie. Make it happen. They have spent the last 2 years hiding the fact that this thing is not a success. You can only do that for so long. They are burning through so much money, and I doubt Miss or Mrs. Redstone, I want to be somewhat respectful, wants to lose money. I'm guessing she doesn't want to lose money. And yeah, that's a good question. So who's going to pay for the new series if Amazon and Netflix are out of the Star Trek business? And I want to put on... so the writer's strike, CBS can't produce anything. Disney can't produce anything. Universal can't produce anything. You know who can? Netflix. Netflix can sign a separate deal. Hollywood might be moving up north. It could happen. And I wonder if Amazon is the same thing. I wonder if they can sign a separate deal as well. The writer's strike could break Kurtzman Trek. Again, that's just my speculation. I have never rooted so hard for writers. You strike. You get yours. You get your cheddar, writers. Strike for like a year. By the way, turn into Nerdrotic live streams. Monday and Wednesday for the Nerdrotic Nooner, and Friday for Friday Night Tights at 5 p.m. And of course, The Inquisition with Dictor Van Doomcock, 6 p.m. Pacific time, every Sunday. That might change with Westworld. We might have to adjust the time a little bit, but Westworld's coming soon. I'm of course selfish reasons. Let's get to and I'll get to some more. There's a lot more. I mean, my friend here has written a book. So thanks for sending me that stuff. Here we go. Iger was told Disney is in a lot of trouble and no way they can avoid fixing Kennedy, but Kennedy will likely make it seem political as she is a woman. So to fire her, we can't. Even Deadline and Variety have speculated that they're not firing Kennedy because she's female. And they really need to clean house as they are making bad decisions that lost billions. Yes, I completely agree. As I said in my video, Ryan Johnson cost that company $1 billion. And I'm being low on the estimate. And that's merchandising the film itself, popping off to fans. Yes, there is a marketable price that you can put on his mouth, alienating fans. His little fragile ego couldn't handle getting some criticism Although he comes out going, I'm not happy unless I piss off half the audience and have the other audience happy because I am so edgy and avant-garde. Yeah, because my name is Ryan and I spell it with an I. Little punk. Captain Spire for $2. Anti-Trekker is doing an interview with Manu at 3 a.m. At 3 a.m.? Why does he want to do an interview at 3 a.m., Captain Spire, for $2? Good for him. Orville Nation already did an interview with, I can't pronounce his last name. It's Manu Intirami, and he played Icheb, who was disgraced on Star Trek Picard last episode, had his, but that wasn't the actor. And check out Orville Nation, great channel. Yeah. Thanks, Captain Spire. Yeah, that's interesting. That'll be very interesting. I have an interview with Mark Zickery. I will be embedding it in a live stream tomorrow morning. So we're going to pump up Space Command a little bit, and Mark Zickery and I are going to talk Star Trek. Now, who's Mark Zickery? He wrote The Twilight Zone Companion, one of the greatest companion books ever written. He also wrote excellent episodes of Deep Space Nine. He wrote a Next Generation episode, First Contact. He wrote Sliders. He wrote The Real Ghostbusters. He's legit. The guy is absolutely legit. He's a first generation nerd, and he is one of us. He is truly one of us. And he's the kind of creative in Hollywood you want succeeding because he respects all fans. We had a great conversation about this. So it's about 45 minutes long. It'll be out tomorrow. I'm going to embed it in the live stream and then separate it and put it on Nerdrotic Live. My apologies to Mark. It was supposed to be out a couple days ago. I ran out of time, but do tune in for that. And I will be in the live, I'll be in the chat while the interview is going on. So if you guys have any questions, but it was fun. I usually don't interview people. I'm not big on interviewing people. I've told you guys why. I don't want to be compromised. I want to be free to talk as much shit as I want without feeling bad about it. See, like, for example, say the Orville gets woke. It'll be very awkward that I point it out, but I will. Because I have a channel to run or woke, or if it's just bad, forget woke. What if it just goes bad? Or if there's, not all the episodes are perfect. It sucks to criticize. That's why I haven't reviewed The Boys yet. I'll be honest with you. One of my best friends in the world co-created The Boys, and I have some criticisms of it. I like it a lot, but I have some criticisms of it. And I feel weird because it's, I don't want to hurt my best friend's feelings. I don't, for Christ's sake, he drew me into the comic book. So it compromises you a little bit. I'm human. Despite what some people say. Jet Screamer for $2. Nerdrotic. Shut up, Wesley. Nerdrotic shuts up Wesley. Yes. Oh my God. I gotta admit, I don't usually like, I don't like shoving things in people's faces. Unless they're like Jar Jar Abrams or, or Alex Kurtzman. But that one felt pretty good. I'm going to say it felt good. Adam Child, Gary, you're the man. I'm here in the Bay listening away. Hit me up if you want to meet up. Keep up the great work. Adam Child for $4.99. Yeah, if you're still here tomorrow, I'll hit you up. We can hang out. We'll go get some coffee. I'm book solid today. I've got to make I've got one video I got to finish for sure. And then I've got Picard tonight. And then who knows? I think there may be some more Iger news. Who knows? Cody Duffin for $2. Iger and Chapek did an interview after announcing. I saw that. And I will watch it. And then because we're not going to get the truth. I mean, they're going to tell us that everything's going to it's roses and sunshine. It's roses and sunshine. But the timing of this is a little weird. Maybe there's something around the corner that's going to be problematic. Maybe the writer's strike. Again, people aren't talking about it enough, but entertainment's going to come to a halt in 2 months. 2 months. Or it could be that the story about Disney fudging the numbers. Scotty Taylor for $5. Great point. Or it could be the story about Disney fudging the numbers had some validity to it, because Bob looked really uncomfortable in that interview. And I saw the picture that somebody compared to Ben Affleck, by the way. Scotty, that is a great point that I did not bring up in my video. Shame on me. Good for you. Thank you, my friend. And thank you, Cody. Felipe Abrigo for 2,500 Chilean pesos. Bob Iger was fired because The Mandalorian was not woke enough and showed how Kathleen Kennedy failed. Kathleen Kennedy either backstabbed or blackmailed Bob Iger to quit. Catalan Pop for 25, whatever the money, it's a RON. It says RON. I don't know what kind of denomination that is, so I'm just going to call it a RON. In jest, I said that he just wanted to get as far away from that woman as possible. But considering that she lacks any humility whatsoever, and I'm not saying every executive's got it, but Bob had to apologize for her. And my good friend Jeremy brought this up in a stream, and I completely agree with him from Geeks and Gamers. You never, ever, ever hear Kathleen Kennedy talking about the actual story of Star Wars, the lore, the characters. She always refers to it in generalities. She never talks about Luke Skywalker, or very rarely. It's always like the characters, George's story. It's broad generalizations because she doesn't know jack squat about the company she's running right now. Period. She's not into that stuff. And as Jeremy did, compare it to Kevin Feige, who can nerd out with you all day long. And according to Joe Russo, Kevin Feige is a bigger Star Wars fan than he is a Marvel fan. Mr. Body Massage Machine for £2. What's all the fuss about male gaze? As far as exactly, and that's it, with the Eternals, there is no fuss. It's 2020. And coming out and saying, well, we've got an alphabet kiss, that's sad. That's sad. That is beneath Marvel. Just do it. Put it in the damn movie. And guess what? Don't cut it out in Singapore and in the United Arab Emirates, and then I'll believe that you believe in that cause. Otherwise, shut the hell up. Iger may have been voted out by Disney board due to all the loss of profits, stock drop, and chaos, says Jim Corder for $5. And that could be. The stock, I believe, did drop a little bit. Let's see what's going on. Maybe we got some new news. Yeah, the spin is on. The spin is on. How Iger built a reputation for market magic, Fox Business. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't ask for that article to be written. Why did Bob Iger step down? The CEO explains. Bob Iger steps down as CEO. Bob Chapek starts Friday's successor. There's something we don't. I mean, obviously, there's something we don't know. I don't know. Tom, give me your thoughts. Why do you think? Baby Yoda met Bob Iger on Epstein Island. Cecil comes in with the truth. Cecil is love. Cecil is the truth. Cecil, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? I just want to show. I treasure my Cecil dollar. My Cecil dollar. Now, he signed this after I gave it to him at a strip joint. And I stuck it in his tidy whities. But, yeah, hail Cecil. Hail Cecil. I don't freaking know. I don't think I know. Maybe he got, I don't want to say it on YouTube. He got T-Mood. T-Mood, we'll say. He got he-tooed. He-tooed. Cesario, JPN for $5. Iger went because the investors saw the red ink, adopted the mantra, get woke, go broke, and voted him out. First thing to get swept out, Kathleen Kennedy may be next. Maybe she is. Maybe she is. We can only hope. Lobocop 69 for 50 PLNs. Title ideas: Indy 500 years. Indiana Jones and those damn kids with their music. Indiana Jones and the and the Catheter King. Seriously, leave heroes of my youth alone. Also, Bob is on Baby Yoda paternity leave. Yep. Well, I mean, if you really look at it, I mean, people like The Mandalorian. That's great. What is The Mandalorian without Baby Yoda? It's an average show. It's an average good show. And if you consider it was a season 1, maybe they'll build on it, or maybe they'll go completely woke. But just when we think the page is turning, let's see it. Hang on. Let me. I got to pull that picture down of the board. Of that board. Un momento. I knew I put it on my drive somewhere. Oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. Let's take a look at the board, shall we? Star Wars, not pro-war. Now, we need to think about the priorities for Star Wars. We need to have authentically lived in, because authenticity is important for storytelling. We want to be authentic. We want to surprise people. That's a priority. We need to surprise, because storytelling is about surprising. That's what Jar Jar Abrams told us. He did. I'm surprised subverting expectations isn't on that board. I'm very disappointed. We also need diversity and an actual ending. We also need representation / diversity. So there's a difference, by the way. Diversity is different than representation / diversity. We need to have them both. And we need to have diverse dinosaurs. I want to see diverse dinosaurs. And then we need a Sith Empire, Chaos Agents, and the Force. So I'm glad the Force is on this board, and it's the last thing they put on there. No single character. Everybody's got to be in a relationship. I don't really know what that means. No single main character. We need space in Star Wars. It's very important that we have space in Star Wars, but we can't be for war. We need lightsaber battles. I'm surprised it didn't say laser sword battles. It needs to be sweeping and epic, but not epic and sweeping. We need relatable characters. Well, that's where they're going to fall apart. But most important, forget it, because you know how I love the CW, and you know what I say about the CW. The CW is about feelings in hallways. And my God, we're getting feelings in Star Wars. Feelings. Nothing more than feelings. So we're going to have queer dinosaurs with feelings. I'm very happy about this. I think Star Wars is, I think they righted the ship. I think it's on its way to success with the Let's Get High Republic. I can't wait. I'm not sure what's going to be better, folks. 5G from DC or the Let's Get High Republic. 'Cause I got high. La da 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 da. That's a funny song, by the way. I love that song. That's embarrassing. When I was about to go to bed a couple nights ago, and I saw my internet son RK Outpost and Jeremy streaming about that, and I was laughing my ass off at the dinosaurs. You got to be kidding me, man. That's why he left. He saw that board and said, "F this, I'm out of here. I'm going to go lose the presidency." I finally caught you live. I love what you do, Gary. Here's a $5 for your next coffee. Vinny Lems. Oh my God. How am I supposed to say your last name? Lamuschio for $5. Thank you, Vinny. It's like Vinny Tuscadero. What's going on around here? Hey, Stu Bailey for 10 pounds. Hail, Gary. Love what you do. Keep it up. What's your opinion on H.P. Lovecraft? He's creepy. I like his works. I know a lot of people bring up the fact that he might have been a bit of an ist, and he was. I like his work, though. I don't have to like him. Now, this got brought up. I want to say this publicly, by the way. Roman Polanski. Screw Roman Polanski. I don't think they should. If he sets one foot in this country, I hope he goes to frickin' jail. I will never watch anything that guy made, ever. We were talking about Chinatown on the Inquisition a couple of weeks ago. And, we were praising the movie. And I did see the movie a long time ago, and it's a very good movie. But we were talking about it in relation to the two Jakes. And I was trying to equate, that's kind of what Star Trek is now. Star Trek Picard is the two Jakes, what two Jakes is to Chinatown. Nobody remembers the two Jakes. Nobody remembers After MASH. And nobody's going to remember Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. Somebody sent me an email, pissed. They're like, they didn't say they were going to unsub. They said, I'm still a fan, but you got to realize, and they ran down like all the offenses of Mr. Polanski. I am very aware of them. I'm a fan of pop culture. I know what he did. Not a fan. I don't like him. I don't watch his stuff. I'm also not a fan of Woody Allen. Woody Allen goes screw himself too. So I don't watch any of that crap. Now, if somebody likes that stuff, I'm not going to judge you, but I personally don't watch it because I think they're creepers and I'm not going to support them in any way, shape, or form. There, it's been said publicly. Cracklin, mocking woke culture would be amazing. A flamboyant gay Batman in a romantic boat ride with Superman, people of culture using token culture powers. Let us drive the ridiculous and make it awesome. Yes, that's the only way you fight this. We've talked about this, Cracklin. Thank you for the $9.99. The only way you fight woke culture is by mocking it. Never cease mocking it. Make them look like the fools that they are, and then they're going to start realizing that they look like fools, and then once Hollywood realizes something is uncool, believe me, they will bail it. But, as I've said, Hollywood is where trends go to die. Actors, creatives, they're actually at the tail end of trends. They're not the beginning. They don't break any ground. That's usually done in the independent sphere, on the streets, as they say. That's where trends start. They don't start. The Hollywood is the end user, where they go to die, because they usually, just sap them for all they're worth. Grant Kelbrick for 35 Zardoses. I think Bob jumped ship before things go sideways at Disney to save his reputation for future political aspirations. Wants to be the good guy. I think that's it, to be honest with you. I think he knows when to leave, and that's why he's successful. As far as walking away or getting out of a sinking ship, it's one thing if it's your own business and you have complete control over it. Bob is the CEO, but he doesn't have complete control over Disney. There's a lot of facets, and I think he saw that he doesn't have control over a lot of things, and they are going to crash and burn. And you're right. He doesn't want that to be part of his legacy. Maybe this is the time to bail out. I will consider that. Now, I think, maybe some rumors will pop up. We don't know. We don't know. We know that a lot of bad things happened in Hollywood, and they happen to this day. Men and women doing horrible things to each other, all for the price of fame, fortune, or notoriety, or even a minute of it. The things people will do. They will sell their souls for this stuff. But I think Bob Iger is way too much of a narcissist to put himself in that position, to get in trouble like Mr. Weinstein did. No. Allie for $4.99. Hail. Think Iger's move was a mistake. You can't fake being a creative. Wokeness gives you wings, LOL. By the way, where can I get a green Nerdrotic tee? Allie, you are the second person who asked me that. So right now it's Mixed Tees handles my t-shirts. I will contact them. I am having one made for Quarter Black Garrett, And Ali, I'll have a run made. I'll have a run made. That was like a prototype shirt. And they handle my stuff. Cammy Mac for Canadian $2. Chapek reports to Iger. Iger gets to have fun now. He's still there, but he's only there till 2021. So he's going to get in the creative part. And, I forgot to link that in my video. I'm sorry. Somebody emailed me a documentary on YouTube about Michael Eisner. And it's Michael Eisner talks, not a lot of smack, but a little bit of smack about Bob Iger. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, I'm going to have to dig that up. Somebody emailed it to me about a month ago. I watched the whole thing. It was really good. Here it is, right here. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to link this in the description. Defunction Land, the failure of Hong Kong Disneyland. And it's pretty good. So put this in your playlist, everybody. Check it out. I will link that in. I will link that in the description of my video as well. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Allie. Thank you, Cammy. Mary Ashmead sends me a cat farting hearts. She knows I love that. I love, that's the only cat I'll accept. Now, I used to own cats. Cats are great. Okay. I had a black cat named Zorro and a tabby named Ariel. And those are the only cats I've ever owned, and I miss them. One of them is buried in my backyard. Zorro is buried in my backyard because they were going to charge me $300 to bury my cat. I'm like, I'll bury my cat. I'll bury my own cat. It was very sad. He moved up with me from San Diego. Jim Corder for $5 watched your video about Doctor Who ratings and was shocked. More people saw me on a Little History Channel show than the 13th Doctor in the U.S. WTF? What History Channel show were you on, Jim Corder? Do tell. Tell me in the chat. Yes, the Doctor Who rating. Oh, let's see. Let's see what they were in the States. I didn't have the numbers at the time. I think it had a little bit of a boost in the States. I do believe it was 500,000 people saw the last episode. So there was but it wasn't as much as. So it was a dip from last week, but it was up from the previous episodes. Does that make sense to you? I'll show you guys here in a second. No, I'm not going to votes. I'm going to Doctor Who Season 12 ratings. There we go. All right, so what I want you to notice here is what I talked about in the video. The demo, the 18 to 49 demo. That's what you got to pay attention to because those are the Utes. You want to capture the Utes. Remember, Piers Wanger, who runs the BBC, who said very recently, as of yesterday, that everything is fine with Doctor Who. Don't worry about it. It's not completely falling off a cliff. It's not falling apart. Everything is fine. Families watch this show. Apparently they don't. Last season averaged a 0.28 rating in the 18 to 49 demo and 881,000 viewers. Now, I'm not going to do some math live on the air because it would be very embarrassing, but I say that 0.12 is less than 0.28. Even the opening episode was 0.19. That's less than 0.28. So 0.28 is good. Okay, that's good. That's a good 18 to 49 demo. This is bad. This is bad. This was the penultimate episode. They threw everything at it, and it just got a minor boost. It was still down 1.13% from last week. We had 524,000 viewers. You double that here in the States. So they had 1 million people watching in a country of 1/3 of a billion. Third of a billion people, 1 million supposedly watch Doctor Who. And that's a high estimate, by the way. They've lost the younger audience. The only people who are watching are the hangers-on. That is not a growing audience. That is a dying audience. It's that cancellation territory. Now, listen, you could produce stuff forever and you'll always have people watching. There will always be people watching some stuff, but you need, Doctor Who is expensive. It needs to be growing. It is shrinking. And it was huge 7, 8 years ago. Now it's a joke. It's a goddamn joke. And you know what's funny is Star Trek gets watched by fewer people than this. Star Trek Discovery gets watched by fewer people than that. So if Doctor Who is at 500,000, what do you think Star Trek Discovery is behind a paywall? What do you think? I say 200,000, and we'll get back to those rumors in just a second. So yeah. Okay. Mark C. Dan DiDio out. Bob Iger out. Spielberg not directing 85. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Mark C. Things are changing. Mark, just tell me in the chat, what is your opinion of Dan DiDio being gone? Or DiDio, or Dildo, or whatever we want to call him. As I've stated before, Nerdrotic Jr. is beside himself with glee. I'm not so sure. I never liked him. I hated New 52 with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. And the fact that he scrapped Rebirth, which is great, but it's equally bad to have Jim Lee in charge. Jim Lee is not a go-getter, okay? Jim Lee is a nice guy. He's smart, and he's not the kind of person who should be running publishing for a comic book company. He can't even finish. Ask Jim Lee where Wildcats #2 is. I remember Wildcats #1 coming out. I'm still waiting for #2. Ask him where all the other unfinished comics are. I have a story that All-Star Batman and Robin, the final issue, there were pages drawn and a dog was walking on the pages in his office. That is a true story. I ordered the Core Restore and started my diet. Oh, Brian Lewandowski, excellent. Good luck. Core Restore is it's a cleanser that I was given to by my sponsor, my AA sponsor. I followed the instructions to a T. I lost 50 pounds in a month. And it wasn't even like suffering. After the first 3 or 4 days, I just got used to it and I've kept it off. It's been, years now. If you go way back on my channel, you'll see puffy comic shop guy bod Gary. It's not pretty. Thank you, Mark C. I think DiDio was, I think he was holding back the damn back the flood. I agree with you. I don't like his creative decisions, but I think it could go so much worse, Mark. I think it could be so much worse. There was a time I really wanted him gone, but I'm not so sure. I'll only be happy about Iger being gone if the new guy doesn't let his underlings run wild. It's unacceptable from a business point of view what happened to Star Wars. D for $5. Well said. Bob Iger did nothing about Pablo Hidalgo, Ryan Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, Dana Schwartz popping off in public. She's going to be writing a show for Disney Plus. For one, what are her credentials? Fine, maybe she's the best writer in the world. We'll wait to see her show. But somebody writing a comic book adaptation who doesn't like Western canon, I'm sorry to mansplain this to you, or I'll nerdsplain it to you, Dana. She-Hulk is a direct result of Western canon. She is a sexualized character. John Byrne made her popular by sexualizing the character. Otherwise, it was just a girl Hulk. It didn't work as the Savage She-Hulk. It worked when John Byrne did it, and he incorporated her into the Fantastic Four. Comics you probably didn't even read. By the way, some of the best comics ever made. John Byrne's Fantastic Four. You can get them for cheap on eBay. Get the trades if you want it. I mean, like Mark C. Look at Mark C's avatar there. Look at Mark C's avatar there. We love The Thing. We love The Thing. John Byrne's The Thing series was great too. But definitely read John Byrne's Fantastic Four. His best work, in my opinion. John Byrne, one of the first people to get canceled by SJWs. Long time ago, he got canceled. He made some salty comments in a forum, and like he still gets work, but he was persona non grata for a long time. I knew the guy who ran his forum, Mike O'Brien. Mike O'Brien's a great guy, by the way. Last time I saw him was at the Boys premiere. If you want to know who Mike O'Brien is, if you read Transmetropolitan, the editor is based on Mike O'Brien. There you go. There's some trivia for you. Antonio Cardenas for $2. Hollywood is a candy-coated piece of crap. Yes, right now they are. There are good people there. And what they need to do is start speaking up. The thing is, they've been afraid. And listen, I'm not calling them out. All right. I understand. You worked your ass off. You went to school. Maybe editing is the only thing you can do. You don't want to risk your job. I get it. But there are more of you than there are of them. And you guys really need to start speaking up more. And it's good that we have a Jeff Fowler doing what he did. Like I said in my video, and I'm going to stay on this. He embarrassed a lot of people by listening to the fans. I mean, how stupid does the BBC look? And Ryan Johnson look? And Alex Kurtzman look? And Kathleen Kennedy look? When they could have, all the problems, the fandom menace wouldn't exist if Ryan Johnson just came out and said, I'm sorry. I tried. It didn't work. I wanted to be, I was trying to be, well, actually, I believe he was lazy. I didn't think he wanted to take on this big task. It's better to not answer a question than to answer a question that's going to be bad. So that's what he did. But if he came out and said, listen, I screwed up. I made a bad movie. It's squashed. It's over. It's done. You show a little humility, you'll walk on to your next project. But no, you want to stir it up. You want to antagonize the fans. Guess what? You're never, ever, ever going to win that. The fans will win every single time. Unfortunately, the fans have been losing what they love because the repurposers, they're only here for a little while. And I got a super chat on Friday Night Tights. I'm going to paraphrase it. Basically said, we sold our souls to the devil with the MCU. The MCU, which is great. I like most of the MCU is really good. Its billion-dollar success destroyed comics forever. And it sucks. And I would trade it all back to have my comic books back. It's not going to happen. And we knew this was going to happen. I remember when Disney bought Marvel, that was the first thing that hit my head is we're going to get good movies and the comic books are going to suffer. And that's exactly what happened. And it sucks. Because I like comic books more than I like movies. I do. Randy Pershing for 20 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much. I hate watch Picard. At least we have the Expanse and the Orville. Yes. I don't want to hate watch Picard, Randy, but that's what it is. After the last episode, I was holding out a glimmer of hope. I was. Through the first 4 episodes. That 5th episode was a middle finger to the fandom. That was Kurtzman flipping you all off. Hey, welcome to the party, TNG fans. I know most of you didn't watch Star Trek Discovery, but there's a few of us who did. Tom may be still in the chat. He did. Script Doctor did. Robot Rob Shlomo, my good friend Doomcock, Mecha Random, Andre at Midnight's Edge. We've been on top of this stuff. And we told you this was going to happen. Anti-Trekker. We told you this was going to happen. And it's happening. It's happening. And it's going to get worse. It's actually going to get worse. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they execute what they're going to do well. And if it turns it around, great. I don't think so, though. 30 dead. 30 dead. I wonder who dies tonight. I'm looking forward to the torture and murder on Star Trek Picard tonight because it's so inspiring. I just can't wait to sit down with Nerdrotic Jr. and see a beloved character from Voyager get his head drilled out. That's awesome. It's awesome. By the way, thanks to Dave Cullen. Thanks for putting my tweet in your video. Dave Cullen has been nothing but kind to me. He shouted me out back in the Doctor Who days. I got a ton of subs from that. So I will get him on Friday Night Tights. I love that Ginge. I mean, he's a spawn of Satan Ginger, but that's okay. He's our spawn of Satan Ginger. If you don't know who Dave Cullen is, Computing Forever, Dave Cullen Show on YouTube. Go check him out. It's top tier YouTube. It's right up there with Critical Drinker, Mahler. He's old school. Yeah, great stuff. Holding out for a hero girl for 20 pounds. Please, when you have time, watch the scenes from the Bollywood movies I have sent you. Oh, I will. You know what? I'll do it this weekend. Thank you, Holding Out for a Hero. They are in my closet, my Doctor Who closet right there. You will be impressed by the epic battle scenes. I have sent you the movies on purpose because I think they are really, really good. I will get it done. I apologize for taking so long, Holding Out for a Hero Girl, and I will let you know on The Inquisition what I think. There we go. Randy Pershing, thank you for the 20 Canadian dollars. Again, Holding Out for a Hero Girl, thank you. Cactus Heart, 79 for $20. I just saw Ruin Johnson's Knives Out. It was actually really good. Made me wonder why he doesn't stick to this kind of stuff. Who the F gave him Star Wars? Clearly a genre like Star Wars is not that dude's wheelhouse. No, and that's what I heard. More power to him. Make all the Knives Out you wanted. That plays to this very... See, the thing is, he made The Last Jedi for that same audience. He did. That audience deserves entertainment, and Knives Out is it. Last Jedi pleased partisans and the access media, and it pissed off every real Star Wars fan. If you're a Star Wars fan, there are Star Trek fans who hate Captain Kirk, and there's Star Wars fans who hate hate Luke Skywalker. Fine, I'll accept that. It's dumb, but I'll accept it. Oh, by the way, confirmed, Captain Kirk's the best captain. Without a doubt. All that Picard versus Kirk shit is over. That argument is fucking done. It's fucking dead. Captain Kirk is the boss. Yes, he died alone protecting that punk-ass Picard. He should still be in the Nexus, making eggs for a girlfriend that we'll never see, riding his little horsies, and should have said no to that selfish, bald, pompous ass. Frickin' Picard. I'm so mad at Sir Patrick Stewart. I talked about it in my review. And all that talk of bringing down Western canon and the patriarchy. He's all about it. You know, now that he had his fun, he made all his money with Western canon. And he's ready to tear it down now in his retirement. Screw you, buddy. Is it true that San Francisco... Yes, it is, DN, for $5. Is it true that San Francisco declared a state of emergency over the coronavirus? Are you affected yet? No, now, Tim Pool, who I like, I think he's a good YouTuber, tends to be a little hyperbolic. But I did watch his video. We, here in this house... We are always prepared for that stuff. I live my life somewhat paranoid, and we live in earthquake land, so we always have plenty of food. We always overstock with canned goods and ramen and stuff like that, so we're good. I'm not affected yet, but the minute I feel like things are getting bad, like I am worried about my kid at school. I'll pull my freaking kid out of school. Like, screw it. He'll repeat a grade, whatever. I would rather err on the side of caution, but I don't think it's that bad yet. Problem is, there's a lot of people who come from China who come to this city because they're Chinese nationals. My neighbor works for the Chinese government. So there's a lot of travel between China and San Francisco. He's a great guy, like the best neighbor I've ever had. He's a really nice guy. And yeah, I'm worried. I mean, we all are, but I'm not going to panic. Because, you know, SARS was around too, and that was bad, and it ran its course. And was this thing made in a lab? Probably. That's an Exozone story. We'll probably talk about that on the Exozone. But yeah, if I feel like things are getting bad, I will pull my kid out of school and I'll homeschool his ass. I mean, he'll be dumb as a freaking bag of hammers if I teach him, but oh well, it's better than nothing. He already knows math better than I do. So, Warren JB for 10 pounds. A few coins for all the great podcast streams that you make work pass quicker. Oh, that's good. That's good. All great thumbnails. Still catching up on the boys. Catch up on the boys, Warren JB. It's good. There was a couple of gender swaps and there's some wokeness in it that bugged me. But overall, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Carl Urban is a pretty good butcher. He's not who I imagined as the butcher, but he's one of my favorite actors. So I thought he did a great job. Indiana Jones in the Ark of Wokeness. Yes. Chris Myers for $2. It'll be Indiana Jones and the Ark of Marginalization, or the Temple of Marginalization. Or the Indiana Jones and the Last Patriarchy. I mean, the Crusade, does it get more patriarchal and colonialist, or not colonialist, or imperial than the Crusades? John Ellis Bush for $4.99. Message retracted. Oh, shit. Sorry, man. I don't know if that was me, or if you want, John Ellis, if you want to put that back in the chat, just hit add Nerdrotic, so I'll be paying attention, and you can put your message back in. Sorry I didn't get to it. My bad. Matt Guy for £2. I know you like Red Dwarf, but have you watched Spaced? I have watched Spaced and I like it. Yep. A long time ago. Somebody was kind enough to send me Red Dwarf season 1 because I've never seen Red Dwarf in order or anything, and I'm going to do that as well. Let's see. Hang on. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to mess up my camera here. That is my video closet. So that's all Doctor Who. And on the bottom shelf, I got some extra stuff. I've been working on that forever. You can see my River Song gun right there. That's my Doctor Who. You can see my 6th Doctor Blu-ray. But that's filled with Big Finish and Doctor Who. It's in a whole closet. Sorry if I'm making you guys seasick there. I didn't mean to do that. Macy JR for $1.99. A little behind the scenes clapper thing. Yes. Oh, well, yeah, I got to go back to that. Hang on. I got to see if there's anything. I probably should have pre-read what he told me. Maybe I'll make a video out of it. Okay. Mark Zickery is cool. He's friends with Doug Jones, but he's not a shill for Star Trek Picard. Actually, he's been pretty critical of Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. So that's why I respect him. This is a guy, and he's trying to listen. It's very hard for him. He's making his own sets. He's building everything with Space Command, and it's going to be very tough. But he answers to no one. He has to go out and stump for cash all the time, but that's part of the gig. So maybe Bob Iger is looking to get Kamala Harris's Senate seat. I mean, how did she get a Senate seat? I don't mean to get political. I'm sorry. She was a DA here. I don't think she prosecuted a single person. We don't prosecute crimes here in San Francisco. So, I mean, come on over if you want to get away with some shit. If your car gets broken into, they tell you to file a complaint online. So one of the things about the writer's strike is there might be some solidarity, okay, from maybe editors, directors. It could really F over a lot of things. But again, I'm praying for it, so it brings Star Trek to a halt. Hi, Gary. Sorry, a bit late to the show. Oberon, if you're ever late again, I will say nothing, because I have no right to talk about being late to anything, because I am the most perpetually late person ever. I hate being on time. I'll tell you the story as to why that's the case someday. I was on time today, and listen, I don't mean to disrespect anybody. I just don't. There was a time in my life where I had to be where I was supposed to be. I like being free. I like being my own boss. I like being my own man. I don't like working for people or being under anybody else's type of rules. I'm just not that kind of person. So yeah. Oberon, you arrive when you mean to. Precisely when you mean to. 50 Danish krona. Hi, Gary. Sorry, a bit late to the show. Is it true the new Kung Fu series just replaced the lead with a girl? How is Momrotic? Love to her from DK. I will pass on that love. She's moving into her new place as we speak. Yes, as we speak. So things are good. Changing the lead to a female for the new Kung Fu series. It's just another day that ends in Y, Oberon. And it'll be gone. Destiny Captain, thank you for the 99 cents. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Glenn Saunders for $5. Jerry Ryan first said she struggled finding motivation for 709, but now says she loves what they did with the character. Sincere or playing along? Playing along. Or maybe she's sincere. Maybe she just doesn't give a crap. I mean, she's had a career beyond Voyager. I hate what they did to her character. I think it was dumb. Now, I got to make sure this didn't jump on me. I saw Annie Trekker. Didn't I see Annie Trekker? Did I imagine that? No, there it is right there. Hey, guys. What's big and green and has a staple in her navel? Fantastic Four 275. Yes, Auntie Trekker. Oh, yes. Yes. God, those are good books, man. I have them right under me. There's a comic box right here with my John Byrne Fantastic Fours. All right, we're going to go back up here. What's up, Cardinal Sin? There's Auntie Trekker again. And Mary Ashmead again. Holy shite. Destiny Captain. Michael Ermish. Oh my God. Michael Ermish for £5. Best recent Trek is the Orville. I was skeptical when it came out, but now I love it. Just bought season 2 on Amazon. Again, some brats money. Is it bratwurst? Oh, bratwurst money. I love brats. Ooh, that sounds good. I'll take bratwurst money. Becky, 79, is a member at the proto-molecule level. Welcome, Becky. How you doing? I see you on Twitter. By the way, I see you on Twitter. So thanks for following me on Twitter, too. Bird of Prey 5 for $2. Kapla. And by the way, Becky joined the proto-molecule level. There will be a member stream this Saturday. Bird of Prey 5 for $2. Star Trek, Hookers and Blow, coming 2022 on CBS All Ass. Yes! Did you see the little tweet they put out for, don't you want to come to Free Cloud? I responded. Here, we can look at that. We can go to that real quick. It's freaking ridiculous. Here it is. From Quark's Bar to Mr. Mott's Hair Emporium, Free Cloud seems to have it all. Would you want to take a vacation there? I do. Can I get tortured and murdered? Can't wait to see how high the body count gets tonight. We are nearing Conan levels of death. So inspiring. Star Trek Picard. Free Cloud. Look at freaking, I mean, and look, only 97. And that's their likes. That wasn't mine. I don't get that many likes. I don't care. Twitter's a time suck, personally. Where was it? All right, here we go. 52 movies a year for $4.99. Time to go back to the meeting. Thanks for recommending the Orville. It is great. Expanse will be next. You will not regret it. Thank you for the $4.99. 52 movies a year. Michael Henley for $22. Whew. I hate missing the Nooners. It just puts a drag on the rest of my week. Well, I'm glad you didn't miss it. And you're going to get another one tomorrow. It'll be earlier, though, because I think we're doing the Exozone. Maybe. That's a definite maybe. I've got to get my Anas Abdeen video out. Rule 99 cents. Thank you for the 99 cents. You're 100% awesome too. KJ for $5. So, in what ways do you think Indy 5 will go woke? I explained it earlier. I think it'll be the same way Picard did it, Logan did it. They'll make it a passing the torch kind of thing. He'll be apologizing. He'll be around. It'll be just like James Bond. Okay. So they'll introduce another female character. She will be absolutely flawless. She'll be a scientist. She'll be just perfect in every way. And Indiana Jones will just be bumbling after her. And I mean, that's not extremely woke, but that has been what's been happening lately. You just need to portray men as cowards, duplicitous, dumb. Somehow that's making up for all the wrongs or in the past. At least that's what the BBC and Hollywood think. Who was worse, Eisner or Iger? Cesario JPN for $2. Ugh. Iger destroyed Star Wars. Iger destroyed Marvel Comics. Sure, we got the MCU. The MCU will lose its shine, folks. There are some fine movies in the MCU. Guardians of the Galaxy is an all-time great movie. It is, period. Captain America Winter Soldier is brilliant. I love the first Captain America movie. Iron Man 1, brilliant. Avengers 1, brilliant. There are some really damn good movies, and there's a bunch of mediocre ones. And as time went on, they didn't wear costumes. They were unmasked. They got cute. And I think it'll just be remembered as pretty good. Listen, you'll see the Access Media doing it too. You'll see the articles going, 10 years later, the MCU isn't as good as you thought it was. I mean, that shit'll happen. Because that's what they do. I listen, it's one of the biggest, it is the biggest success in Hollywood history. It'll never, ever be repeated. What Kevin Feige did was phenomenal. I don't want to take that away. I like the MCU. Was it worth the comic industry? No. Hell no. Mary Ashmead gives me a number one. You're number one too, Mary. Thank you for the $2. And then I read Cecil. Hello, Cecil. Chris Pavetto for $10. Hail from Chula Vista. Oh, what's up, homie? Campia made the sports reference on the show today with Iger out. Teams management clean house. Same thing Jeremy said last night. Was kind of funny to hear the same points. Yeah, it's almost like he listened to Jeremy, but it's actually a good point. The sports ball reference is applicable with a couple of things. For one, they always lie to you. So like general managers always lie, and you fire a general manager and a coach after you have a big loss. I don't think that's unusual, but he didn't get fired. He stepped down. And the problem is the coach is still there. They got rid of the GM, which is for the sports ball analogy. They got rid of the GM, but Kathleen Kennedy's still the coach. And rarely do you see a GM go without the coach going as well. Common Sense America for $10. Hail, Gary. Our podcast ripped this show for over 3.5 hours Monday night on our live stream. It was messed up. And then I look forward to it was messed up that I look forward to destroying the show. Is it messed up that I look forward to destroying the show every week? Common Sense America, no. It's therapeutic. There was an article. Jeremy shared it. I don't know how old it was. It says the epidemic of clickbait on YouTube. For one, what I do is not clickbait. I know that's been accused, but I talk about every single thing I title my video about. If it's in question, I put a question mark behind it. But clickbait is putting a title up that you don't talk about or you don't bring that. That's true clickbait. Okay. I talk about pop culture. I talk about what's on my mind. I criticize it. I praise it, whatever. It's been part of entertainment since entertainment began. Okay, criticism, talking shit, snark, sarcasm. I mean, that's the very basis of comedy. They were doing that shit in vaudeville. Yeah, so it's not new. It's what talk radio was built on. It's what sports talk radio is built on. ESPN wouldn't exist without that. None of this shit would exist. That's what your news is. That's what John Oliver is. It's all the same shit. We are just coming at it from a different side because everything at Hollywood was starting to sound the same. That's it. You get individuals here speaking their mind. And it's entertaining. That's right. So no, it is not bad that you look forward to it. Go ahead and rip away. It's what people have been doing since entertainment started. History of the World Part 1? The first critic, where the guy's painting on the cave and a guy comes and pisses on his art? It's right there. Shane Weipert as a new member at the protomolecule level. Hail! FYI, my interview with Manu will be at 12 a.m. your time, which you would have known if you had checked your text message. Love ya anyway. Do you even have my new number? Hang on. Did I give you my new number? Oh, yeah, it's right here. Well, when did you send it? Oh, shit. You sent it at 8 a.m. I have been busy since I woke up this morning. So I was going to check it after my live stream. But now I checked it live on the air. You happy, Annie Trekker? Yeah, so I'll tweet it out. Is it tonight? Because I'll be on the air tonight at 12 a.m. I'll be covering Star Trek Picard at 12:15 a.m. Tomorrow, technically. Adam Child, I'll be here in the Bay Area tomorrow. Send me the time and the address on Twitter. I will, Adam. I'll let you know. Thank you for the $4.99. We'll probably meet at the same place. Probably, though. Wait till I get back to you. Cardinal Sim, $4.99. Gary, do you think this has anything to do with Iger's presidential ambitions? Sign me up for a t-shirt too, by the way, XXL. Okay, I will. Yes, I do. But I think the timing is weird. So I think there was something going on that we may never hear about, or maybe we will. Who knows? Captain Spire for $10. My job of 13 years. My job of 13 plus years. I just got a call from my boss. I know I not only got a raise, but thanks to my boss, looking back at my last 5 years, I've been terrified of my success, but I'm thrilled to share it with you. Awesome. Well, congratulations, Captain Spire. You deserve it. Get that cheddar, buddy. Declan Lions for £5. We need alphabet dinosaurs called Megasaurus. Oh, Jesus Christ. Licholotopus and a Biceratops. A Biceratops. That's good. That's good. You got me. Shane Weipert for $5. Rock on, Gary. No, you rock on. You rock on. Norwegian Kryptonian for 55 Norwegian kronas. If my maths are correct, Star Wars lost 52% of their customers from The Force Awakens to The Fall of Skywalker. I love how you call it The Fall of Skywalker. I refuse to call it by its title, by the way. I'm sure you noticed that. Imagine if that happened to McDonald's or any other company. Shine on. Good point. Good point. It has happened. And you know what happens after that? CEOs get fired. CEOs get fired. So, is it a coincidence that The Fall of Skywalker crashed and burned and Bob Iger was gone 2 months later? Could you imagine him? What if he left like in the mid-January? It would have been bigger news. This is still big news, but like the furor is over because people are done with Star Wars. They're not even mad about it anymore. They're just like, I don't care. Baby Yoda, eh. But remember, we used to be talking about the epic scope of the story of Luke Skywalker. Taking on the Galactic Empire, taking on Darth Vader, trying to save his father. An epic story that ended with death, defeat, and forgiveness. Sure, they blew a couple things up, but the core heart of the story was a guy trying to reach his dad at the last minute. I mean, it's brilliant. And now it's reduced to cute little baby Yoda. It's cute. I mean, it's kind of what happened to Marvel Comics. Everything's cutesy putesy now. Nicholas Horton for £5. We still don't know how bad the Dalek episode will be. I reckon it has 2 different endings. Are you talking about the Christmas special that's coming? That's going to be on Christmas now, Nicholas. It is going to be on Christmas. The one that supposedly has David Tennant in it. I don't think he's in it though, because he was filming something at the time. But he might be. I think he's going to be next season, Nicholas. I think they will bring David Tennant back next season. They have to. They're going to bring Captain Jack and David Tennant back for sure. And maybe Rose. They're going to pull out all the stops for Jodie because it is in the crapper. And guess what? This was what everybody was worried about. You know why the people who play the Doctor, when they're asked directly, they go, oh, Jodie's great. Jodie's great. But they never talk about her outside of that because they're worried. They're worried their legacies are going to be trashed, and they are. Gary, do you think Disney should be federally broken up as it seems they're creating a monopoly on entertainment, buying everything? Yes. I hate regulation. See, that's the thing. I wish they would have said no to them getting together in the first place. I dislike the government breaking something up, but I think they're too big. Yes, I think they're too big. I think they're too big. I'm not a big fan of government involvement in a lot of shit other than building roads, firemen, policemen and women, signs, stuff like that. Beyond that, stay the F out of my life. You know, like vaping is illegal in San Francisco. I've already done a tweet on that. You can poop on the sidewalk while discarding your needle and get shot by an immigrant who won't go to jail, but you can't vape. San Francisco. Professor McCoy's Pop Culture Reviews for $2. What is with Steven Spielberg being off Indiana Jones? It sounds like he wanted to pass the torch. He probably doesn't want to work for Kathleen Kennedy. That's my guess. I think it's disappointing as hell. But Mangold is a good choice. He's one of the few directors who's good. There's not that many good ones out there. Thank you, Professor McCoy's Pop Culture Reviews. Again, thank you, Anti-Trekker. And check out Anti-Trekker's... Anti-Trekker, are you still here? Is that midnight tonight? Here, let me look at your tweet. Hang on. I'll look at his tweet. Oh, I sent this text yesterday. Well, what do you want? What do you want, man? What do you want? I thought you were too busy whinging that I called Jar Jar Abrams Jar Jar Abrams. Dude, I got video of you saying, I hate Michelle Paradise like over and over again. I was almost going to freaking send that to you. So Mr. Pious. When is it? Okay, so it's tonight. Is it tonight, Anti-Trekker? Please let me know. Let me know in the text. Is it midnight tonight? Go to Anti-Trekker's channel and check out the interview. I'll watch it. I will definitely watch it for sure. Douglas Marsh for £5. Just wish Sir Patrick Stewart had done Orville cameos instead. Me too. Hashtag me too. And maybe we can get William Shatner on the Orville. That is what I want. I want a William Shatner cameo on the Orville because I think that would be the biggest middle finger to Star Trek of all time. Although there might be a big middle finger coming anyway. Shh. Like any other self-respecting Star Trek The Next Generation actor, Douglas, I don't blame them for taking the job. Okay. I don't. I do blame Sir Patrick Stewart. He had creative control over this. Some of the shit was his idea, so I am blaming him. As a matter of fact, I think some of these woke ideas he came up with. Mr. Fish for 50 Australian dollars. Terry Nation wrote futuristic sci-fi drama named Survivors about coronavirus free on YouTube. I will check it out. I love Terry Nation. Thank you, Mr. Fish. Bless you. Bless you. Oh, we got something else there. Breaking news. Breaking news. Hang on. This sucks. I mean, like, okay, so it's Johnny Cash's birthday. You know, the reason I think my podcast didn't take off back in the early days is I used to always start them with a death. People don't like hearing that. But Clive Cussler has just passed away. Clive Cussler. He is an author. He has passed away at 88 years old. Prolific author and sea explorer, dead at 88. He lived a good long life, so rest in peace, Clive Cussler. Okay. Marty, for $5 Canadian. I have a hunch that a lot of what happened with Star Wars might be due to some bad blood between Mr. Lucas and Mr. Iger and Mr. Spielberg. Thoughts? Iger being gone, Spielberg being gone. Yeah, you know what? I think Spielberg will be loyal to Lucas. So that's why he's not directing Indiana Jones. There's your answer right there. There's your answer right there. Out of loyalty to George, he is not going to direct an Indiana Jones film he is not involved in. That's why he did it. He's producing it probably to make sure it gets done right. So there's your answer. I probably should have come up with that before, but they are good friends. Despite their being aloof, elitist billionaires who are completely out of touch with us plebs. I always say plebes, it's plebs. They're friends, and I think they will remain loyal to each other forever. Christy Ricardo for £2. Thank you for the £2. I appreciate it. No question, put a question in the chat if you got one, Christy. I thank you for your support, sincerely. Hi, Telma. I'll get to you in just a second. Danny Chadwick for $5. When I was growing up, Captain Picard and Commander Riker were the ideal men. The captain being reduced into a doddering old fool, and doddering, by the way, old fool is heartbreaking. It is. When I do the live reaction reviews, I don't catch a lot of details. My Star Trek Picard season 1 review is going to be comprehensive. I'm going to point out every single time a woman is put in position of power over man to belittle men. And it is a lot. It is fucking a lot. It's more than the body count. We're going to say that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that by itself in a vacuum when you're telling a story, but they set up scenarios to do that. And it's almost like they come at a story like, how could we make Picard apologize in this scene? And then they write the scene. It's not the other way around. It's like the scene naturally led to Picard apologizing for something. Declan Lyons for £10. Speaking of Shatner, I'll be seeing him in Dublin in 12 days. There will be showing The Wrath of Khan with 2,100 people in the audience, and I'll meet him afterwards for a photo. It wasn't cheap. Yeah, he's been going on tour and doing that, and good for him. I paid $200 to briefly meet him. I'll never do that again. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that. I think actors should take pictures with their audience for free. They've made plenty of money. Now, if some of them got screwed over by the companies, then I won't begrudge them that much. And some of them did. But like Christopher Eccleston going out and charging money from Whovians for pictures after he screwed over Whovians for years. And yeah, I know he had personal problems. That's great. You could have said yes to the 50th anniversary, dude. But now he's coming out and asking for money for Whovians. Screw that. One of the rules of the chef is that a chef is never late. They are detained elsewhere. I like that. Or a chief. Is it a chef or chief? I can't read. Telma. Sorry, crazy cat guy. Hi, crazy cat guy. By the way, I know you're a newcomer around here, and welcome. We love having you around. Telma ML. Hi, Telma, for $4.99. I've been to some Picard groups, and I was a bit disappointed with Trek fans online. Lots of trolling. Will Picard destroy the fandom too? God, it seems like, Telma, there's a fracture within a fracture. And there's trolling on both sides, okay? Largely, though, it's the other way around that I've seen, Telma. I mean, like, I'm not in those groups, so, I mean, I completely trust you. But with me, I don't go out looking for trouble with anybody. I don't poke at anybody. If somebody likes the show, I don't pop in going, you're an idiot for liking the show. It's not my style. I don't do that. If you like the show, great. Every time I post something, I get the same 3. It might be the same person, to be honest with you. And, you know, I don't respond. They usually go away. I don't have any problems with people on Twitter. I have 0 problems with people on Twitter. You want to know why? Because I don't freaking engage. It's so easy. It's very simple. Engaging people is a time suck. It keeps, especially pro tip to all my fellow YouTubers out there. Do not get involved in Twitter. Have a Twitter account so you can share your videos. Get a Facebook group so you can share your videos. Let other people run the Facebook group. Let that be a place for people who like your channel. Don't engage. It's a time suck. It'll ruin your creativity. People don't like it. I know people do it. I'm not judging other channels for doing it. I'm not telling other people what to do. I'm asked sometimes. This is an unsolicited suggestion. I think some of if I would have gotten involved in Twitter drama and drama on the other side, I don't think my channel would have gotten to 222,000 subscribers. As a matter of fact, I know it wouldn't have, because I'd be so busy dicking around on Twitter. Listen, it took away from my job at the comic shop. That's why I quit it a decade ago. So, I mean, and honestly, that's how regressive Twitter is. It is the same fucking platform it was 10 years ago. There is no difference. Gail Simone is still like 10 years later. And that's what I got in trouble. I was calling her out. By the way, one of the worst people imaginable in comic books. She's a cancer to comic books. But yeah, I don't know how I got on that one. But yeah, I just stay the hell away from that crap. And I don't get involved. I speak my mind on the platform that I have had success on, which is YouTube. I mean, I could, if I got banned from Twitter tomorrow, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. Picard is a 4 Pip Admiral in STD, and Picard is a 4 Pip Admiral in a Star Trek Picard flashback. Matt G, I don't know. I don't know what a 4 Pip Admiral is. A 4 Pip, was that the flashback that was, I mean, is it the next episode? Matt G, give me some context to what you're saying here just put it in the chat. What's up, Man of Action? How are you? Man of Action and I, man, we go way back now. Remember when we were in England Teens live streams? I don't know, it feels like a long time ago. But yes, Gail Simone is one of the single worst things to happen to comic books, without a doubt. When she arrived, no coincidence, the SJW Marvel started coming up. People started being awful to each other. Now, it's always been there. Listen, the comic industry, when I was 12, I wanted to be a comic book artist. When I started working at the comic shop and I got to know what it was like in the comic industry, I was so thankful that I didn't work in the comic industry. It is worse than Hollywood. They are the cattiest bunch of biatches on the planet. They're backstabbing. They're duplicitous. It's freaking awful what these people do to each other on a regular basis. Man, you should... I had access to forums, and listen, comic book retailers, just as bad. There's a lot of good out there. There's some good guys out there. Like Derek's a good guy. There's good people. I'm not saying, but the bad are bad. And they are worse than the jocks ever were in high school. ever were. You become what you hate with a little power. It sucks. And that's what led us to this. That's why the comic industry is in shambles, because they just want to fight with their freaking 5 fans. I mean, it's ridiculous. God, that used to piss me off, because there was a time where like my income was affected by Gail Simone spending hours and days on Twitter and not writing her fracking Birds of Prey book. And the more stories I hear about her, it's just the more I'm convinced. She's a public figure, and she's not even that great of a writer. She was okay. She was okay. Not worth the trouble, believe me. At least Mark Waid wrote some stuff that I liked in the past. I would never read a book by that jackass ever again, but he did write some good books in the past. He did. Altered Carbon Season 2 tomorrow on Netflix. Adam Child, yes, tomorrow. I got Picard tonight, Altered Carbon tomorrow. Can't wait. Point of personal privilege for $4.99. If Kathleen Kennedy gets fired, we should have a celebration stream and sing Yub Nub together. Okay, point of personal privilege. I am down with the Yub Nub. I am seriously down with a group singing of the Yub Nub. When Kathleen Kennedy gets fired, there will be a lot of streaming. The only reason I didn't go live last night is because I had to make a video. Jeff asked me to be on the High Council. I would have gone, but I didn't have time. I had to do my video. I had to work on other stuff. But thanks for the invite, Jeff. I appreciate you, and I'm going to get Jeff on Friday Night Tights. And plus, it was good to see like the core High Council get back together again. That was nice to see. And it was with the newbies, and that's good. That's good. But I knew I was going to go live today, so it's all good. I'll talk about it. But yeah, when Kathleen Kennedy gets fired, I will be live on my channel immediately. And I'll invite whoever wants to come. As a matter of fact, I'll do something I don't usually do. I will be open lines. We'll do an open lines when Kathleen Kennedy steps. I think she's not going to get fired. She's going to step down. We'll put the link in the chat and see what happens. Nice, Johnny Casher. Thank you very much. It's very old. This thing is like 15 years old. And the truth of the matter is, I stole it from my wife. I did. This was my wife's shirt. Thank you, Telma. Thank you, Matt G. Thank you, Adam Child. Point of personal privilege, Mr. CCDV for $2. Thank you again for the nice Johnny Cash. Just wanted to say we started The Expanse largely based on your enthusiasm for it. Holy cow, it's amazing. Best sci-fi show in ages. Shawnee Bass for $5. Thank you. Yes, I love that show. I was really worried. Shauna. I was really worried it was going to go 2019 woke, and it did the opposite. It is everything you want out of a TV show. It is all the diversity that people clamor for. It's not the kind they shout out. They just frickin' do it. They make a TV show. And you know what? That's how things get normalized, by the way. When you are, how does that, listen, I can't walk, I don't know what it's like to walk in like a black man's shoes or a black woman's shoes, but it can't feel good that some little lily white producer is going, look, we just hired our first black female on our TV show, and being all proud of themselves about it. That's cringe. That is unbelievably cringe. You hire them, you let them work, you let them do their job, you pay them fairly. And if they're good, you keep them around. And if they're not, you don't. It's really that simple. The Expanse has a diverse cast. They don't talk about it. They get political, but they show both sides. It is the perfect show. It is the perfect sci-fi show. Star Trek Picard trying to imitate it is laughable. It's a joke. It's a joke. Kurtzman couldn't get Naren Shankar's coffee. Okay. And he used to get coffee for Sam Raimi. I used to watch TNG with my dad when I was young. It always has held a special place with me. Seeing Picard being constantly berated makes me sad. Sigh. Ashley Harmon. Yeah, it sucks. The Next Generation. The Next Generation got huge with me. I watched it premiere. I was a Star Trek fan before. It took me a while to get used to Picard, but kind of in the way that you get used to a new Doctor, right? But I really started loving it in 89, 90, and 91. Now, that's when I was getting in a lot of trouble. So I was in and out of rehabs and places like that. And they'd always be showing Star Trek. And that's where I got into it. And then I started reading the novels and just really getting into TNG. So yeah, I love those days. I remember where I was when I watched All Good Things. I was in my apartment on 4th Avenue in San Diego. And I remember how sad I was when it ended. I remember how happy I was with the great episode, and I was looking forward to the movies. That's all gone now. Always wondered, is Kathleen Kennedy really a good producer, or is Frank Marshall a great producer and she makes an amazing cup of coffee? Mark C for $5. I think she makes, maybe Kathleen Kennedy should open a coffee shop because it might be really that good. Frank Marshall is one of the greatest producers ever in Hollywood, period. So I'm guessing Frank Marshall. Modalicious, Snowflame. Oh, it's been a while, Modalicious, since we talked about Snowflame. Who's Snowflame? Snowflame, this is Snowflame. He is a cocaine-powered supervillain. Cocaine is his god, and he is the instrument of its will. He's a DC hero. Thank you, Modalicious, for $2. Son of the Wolf for $12. Hey, my first live stream of yours, and I've been able to catch. Been watching your videos for a few months now. Thank you. Love the content. Son of the Wolf, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. That keeps me fired up. It does. A lot of times I'm just in this room surrounded by my plastic pals, and they give no feedback whatsoever. You know, I don't even know why I keep them around anymore. But one of my favorite, Mikey Spock. This is the most accurate action figure ever made. It is. It is. Okay. Adriana Escobar for $5. Twitter is the more toxic platform. It is. It's for people to come in and snipe and leave. I know I'm stating the obvious, but you can't have any real arguments, and it's for putting people on blast. And another thing I don't like is putting people on blast, and especially when there's no context to the argument or the person can't fight back. I mean, some people deserve it, but that's not for me to judge. That's not for me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I prefer to have my arguments face to face or right here on YouTube on this platform. So, and plus I'll catch myself like writing stuff that I should put in a video instead of, if it's like, I try to keep my best material here. Hi from London. Big fan. Keep up the great work, my friend. Thank you very much, Tom Jensen, for £5. I will do my very best. Thank you for your support. Thank you all for your support. Thank you to the subs. We got 1,200 likes. We still have 2,800 plus people watching after 2 hours. I don't know, man. I'm never going to get used to this. And that's a good thing. TK not at post for $20. Here's to your success. Your channel consistently has the most must-watch content. Wow. I'm going to say that again. Your channel consistently has the most must-watch content. That, again, I'm not going to get used to that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will continue to try to do my best. This has been a ton of fun. Now, I will take this moment. Star Wars Celebration is in Anaheim this year, and I want to give back to you guys, okay? Because of you guys, I've been able to work from my little office surrounded by my plastic pals for a little over a year now. It's the best job I've ever had. I'm having more fun than I could possibly admit. Yes, sometimes I'm whinging, or a lot of times I'm whinging about Doctor Who and Star Trek, but it's great talking to you guys, and it gets it off my chest. It's therapeutic. I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast, and I sleep like a baby at night, by the way. So, I want to get back to you guys. So, we're going to do a meetup at Star Wars Celebration. If you can make it, even if I'm not going into the show, by the way. I'm not going into Star Wars Celebration at all. I don't care. But I'm going to rent out a place, hopefully a bar, DJ, music, karaoke, maybe all three. I will provide the food. I will look into what an open bar, I mean, like I can't do full open bar, but maybe like first 2 drinks free or something like that. I don't want you to pay for much of anything. I know you I wish I could fly you all out there, but I can't do that. But if you go, there's no door fee, there's no GoFundMes, nothing. I will feed you. I will get you some drinks, and I just want to thank you. It'd be my thank you. And I think we, all of us hanging out, the meetups Jeremy and I did in New York and in San Diego were some of the best times I had. I met some of the best people, and I think it would be a lot of fun. And the Star Trek Las Vegas one was a lot of fun as well. So I will let you know what this, time and place. We'll get something figured out. All you have to do is show up. So as a thank you. Out of step with reality for $5. There are 4 levels of Admiral. Okay, thank you. I'm ignorant to this, so thank you very much. Out of step with reality for $5. There are 4 levels of Admiral. 1 pip in square, real Admiral lower half. 2 rear Admiral upper half. 3 Vice Admiral. 4 Admiral. Okay. And is it unusual? So he would be a 4 pip Admiral. I mean, that's the highest, right? Maybe he would be. But he didn't heed Kirk's advice, who said, don't let him promote you. Don't let him promote you. No. Rebecca Gold, the great Rebecca Gold web series. Congratulations on your award, by the way. I saw that on Twitter. You have been winning like tons of awards with that show. So well done. That is a person doing right. He's making his own stuff. He's got a strong female lead. She's good, by the way. Pass on the good work there. On your live stream on Sunday, I would love to come on and tell you what I thought of the last episode. It would not, if not, rock on, Gary. Take this 5 pounds and get yourself some coffee. Love your show, mate. I'll always watch. Why, thank you. Yeah, we can bring you on. What we're going to do, it's going to be a long one on Sunday. It might go all the way into the Inquisition. As usual, Bulls Trek is invited. Starry will be there. I have the invitation out to Critical Drinker with no obligation, Drinker. I know he's super busy, but like he can come whenever he wants. But maybe towards the end, let's bring some of you guys in. Okay, we'll do that. And I'll bring you on. So I'll send you the link. I'll let you know. Yeah, we'll get you on. Dan Heiss for $2. Lent started today. Well, happy Lent, everybody. Yes, it's Ash Wednesday. I gave up Trek and Star Wars. You got to give something up. Yeah, that's why I'm never going to be good at Lent. I'll give up. Yeah, I can't give up. I got to watch them. I'll give up candy bars or something like that. Yeah, I don't eat candy that much anymore. I used to have the worst sweet tooth, but now I don't. You are the best. I love your live stream, says Adriana Escobar for $5. You're the best, Adriana. I can't possibly be the best when you're the best. Telma ML for $4.99. Hello, Telma. The dark tone of Star Trek Picard makes me sad. I learned English by watching TNG. It helped my depression. The new show gives me existential angst. I am capturing that. Hang on. I'm going to put that on my live stream tonight. Telma. There we go. I'm saving that. That is going to go on my live stream tonight. And you're right. Okay. At Star Trek Las Vegas, they told these stories of all the times, the way Star Trek was presented. It was a procedural procedural sci-fi drama. Yes, it had little elements of horror. It wasn't ever that scary. It was fun. It had a positive tone. It was perfect for people with depression. That's why so many people liked it. It really helped a lot of people in a lot of ways. That's where entertainment can really be helpful and important. And Hollywood has forgotten that. And that's why people are going to other places now. Alex Kurtzman is incapable of writing something like that. The guy must have a dark soul. I don't know. But he can't write it. He's not funny. Could you name anything, Alex Kurtzman, that made you laugh intentionally? I mean, there's unintentional laughter all day long. Maybe he's a comedic genius and we don't know. Telma, that sucks. That really sucks. And thank you for the super chat. And I'm sorry. I'm really am. I'll apologize for CBS. Redstone, do something about this. Come on. If you want to have a Star Trek to make money off of, it's supposed to be your crown jewel. You better frickin' do something now. If you don't do something now, it's dead. It's gone. It'll be frickin' Zorro. It'll be Flash Gordon. People remember them, but they're not important anymore. They're not making stories anymore. And you might as well you know what? You might as well give it to the public at that point. George Forrest Jr. for $4.99. Hail, Gary. When I hear Hollywood say people of color, God damn, I hate that too. They reveal how they feel like Kuckleoff or like Wokeman. Like Kuckleoff, like Damon Lindelof, like Wokeman. Yes. George Forrest Jr., Damon Lindelof in Wokeman was a disgrace. Him exploiting one of the worst, one of the worst moments in our history, the Tulsa riots, for a superhero show was fucking embarrassing. And yeah, people of color. I hate that. I hate that saying. I hate it so much. I never thought we'd hear that back. It's so terrible. Yeah, Wokeman was terrible. John Ghost, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I appreciate it. It seems like we've gone backwards. And, again, I think the event should, the Tulsa Massacre, I think if HBO wanted to make like a documentary on it or a drama showing what really happened, go for it. That's what, that would bring awareness. That would bring, people were trying to defend it. It brings awareness. What? That Moloch caused the Tulsa riots? That doesn't bring awareness. No, bringing awareness would be making a documentary or making a drama based on what really freaking happened and not mixing it in to exploit your superhero show to give yourself some woke points. That's the true meaning of exploitation. And there were people in that show who signed off on it. People should be questioning that as well. I was called the worst things for pointing that out. That is the very definition of exploitation. And it's shameful. If they want to do other things, fine, but that was shameful. All right. You know what? Just like different people. That's all. Just different people I don't think so. I think it's a religion. And that's why I hate individuals. Thank you, Garrett Forrest Jr. I appreciate it. Okay. We've reached the end there, folks. Orville Nation. Or no, it was Dean. That was Dean. Thank you, Dean. And thank you for all the super chats. We're going to call it a day at 2 hours and 24 minutes. We had 2,700 people watching, and I appreciate you all. This will go over to Nerdrotic Live when it's done. And it'll be on nerdrotic.com when it's done. Please subscribe to Nerdrotic Live. That's where I put all my live streams. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's joined us, friends and frenemies. I want you all to have a good day, whether you like me or not. I want you to all be happy. I want us to all have good Star Trek someday. I want us to have good Doctor Who. I want us to have good Star Wars. But if not, then, there's other things out there. Altered Carbon's going to be out tomorrow. Maybe it'll be good. We don't know. The Witcher is good. Watch it. The Umbrella Academy is good. Watch it. Expanse, The Orville, good shows. Watch it. Star Trek Picard's a disgrace. I will be covering it tonight, 12:15 or tomorrow morning, 12:15 a.m. Pacific time. Until next time, everybody have a great day, and not all who wander are lost.
Nerdrotic.com